This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Yeah, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, what's going on?
Hey, John. Well, tonight I'm talking about something that's been, arguably 30 years in the making, really. It's like this is a series that, started out in the late 80s, had a follow-up in the late 90s, and then finally had its concluding installment. It's not too long ago, actually. I'm talking about Mage by Matt Wagner. Now, this is a series that is regarded as a cornerstone of indie comics, from its start in the mid 80s, which not only launched both Wagner's career and established Mage as as one of his signature series, but also that of Grendel as well, one of his his evil criminal mastermind series that has since gone on to spawn all sorts of crazy stuff. But then I'm talking about Mage right now, and this series has been highly regarded by lots of comics luminaries and the likes of Brian Michael Bendis to Greg Rucka to mainstream personalities like Patton Oswalt and Kevin Smith. And and this was a series that was originally intended as a three-part series, basically called The Hero Discovered, which is the first volume, of The Hero Defined, Volume 2, and then The Hero Denied, which is Volume 3. And the idea behind Mage is solid. It's basically the story of one Kevin Matchstick, an unassuming, reluctant hero who has to rise to the occasion when he's told that he is basically the inheritor of the Arthurian legacy in modern times. That was Mage's big hook back in the day. That is basically the retelling of Arthurian myth in modern, by modern standards. Matchstick was the Pendragon. He had his Merlin in his magic counterpart Mirth. And in his sword in Excalibur, it's magical baseball bat. No, really. And his original crusade was to take out the evil that was embraced by the Umbrus Fright and his evil Grackle Flints. And that's how the series started out. And the thing is though, back in the 80s when Mage debuted, this is the kind of series that that kind of approach could really gain you some kind of some notice. The fact that your series wasn't a standard issue superhero story, that you were doing something different, that you're doing something that wasn't so ultra compressed, so it's tight, tights and superpowers. That's kind of what people were thirsty for that kind of stuff back in the day. Just by doing something something different, you can gain notice for that. And when I started to reread the series, in preparation for this podcast, that's kind of the vibe I got from rereading The Hero Discovered, the first volume, because it's basically it introduces to Kevin, to his magical buddy Mirth, to Edsel, their female African American squire who's holding Excalibur for Matchstick, but reading it today, it really feels kind of ordinary, in the sense that there's been so much stuff that has done the whole present day fantasy in modern day terms. The Hero Discovery gets credit for doing all this stuff first, but rereading it, wasn't as entertaining or quite as memorable as I remember it being when I first read it. And I first read it back in the back in the mid to late aughts, to be honest. And it's like, and it was, and it was entertaining then, but it's like, reading it now, it's like it's not. It's like, I mean, like the idea of a modern day fantasy. It's like recalibrated for our times. It's like it didn't quite have the same impact. I mean, I honestly got more out of the copious like end notes, where it's like where Wagner talks about like the creative process behind making the series, and stuff like the Mage tour between like issues like 7 and 8, that really brought in a lot of people, brought in a lot of new fans to the story. It's like, in fact, but I mean, let's not say this is that any of what I read is bad. It's just so I kind of use like a rudimentary exercise and stuff that's been gone on to be done better. It's like in contemporary times. So it's like, I mean, it's like I see that quote from Kevin Smith on the back saying it's one of the three best comic books of all time, but it's like I can't quite get behind that. It's like it's. I mean, there is some entertainment to be had, but overall, it's like it kind of feels it's something that was probably like absolutely unique, entertaining for its time, but just doesn't have the same spark. It's like in the modern era. Now, that's the experience I had when I was rereading the first volume, The Hero Discovered, and so I was I was primed to feel that, oh man, like does this mean that like I'm going to do an entire podcast about just how Mage just doesn't live up to its hype? How it's like it's just it's a relic, that it's like that like everything everything I knew is not true, or we're not. Well, no, not quite, because The Hero Defined actually did a lot to like restore my faith in the series. Now, The Hero Defined came out in the late 90s, and it came out from Image, like of all places, because because Wagner has basically said that because originally Mage and Grendel were both published by Comico, and it's like that was all well and fine for a while. Comico eventually went bankrupt, and Wagner's signature series were both left without a home. So he figured, okay, it's not going to happen again. So for here on out, Dark Horse is the home of Grendel. They've done right by him for a couple of decades now, and Mage is going to be Image is going to be the home of Mage. So, and that worked out pretty well, all things told, because it's like when Mage came out in the late 90s, it's like that probably did a lot to establish like Images more than this superhero Flash, Flash and style that it's like that its original creators had established it as, and it gave this the imprint some some respectability, because it's like rereading The Hero Defined, it's it's like, I mean, it's on one hand, it's like it's still the same kind of modern day like fantasy elements reimagined in the modern day, but it's a much more successful stab at that, because it's basically a hangout type story, really, because it's like after the Pendragon Kevin Matchstick has made his name defeating the Umbra Sprite. It's like in the original series, it's like he's kind of known, it's like as kind of like a big goddamn deal, and so he's got. It's another. He made his name in terms of the other characters in the same evil hunting fiend hunting field, because that's something that's happened, that's also kind of grown since the original series. Like now there are more fiends and they require more heroes, and more heroes have risen up to take on these these demons. And it's like that might sound like that there's some sort of modern day analogy here, but it's like we'll get back to that in a bit. But it's like while Kevin Matchstick has continued like the nasty hunting business as he's called it. He's also got like help from his buddy, um, like um, like Joe Fat, the African American embodiment of the coyote spirit, and his on again off again buddy Kirby Hero, who is the embodiment of the like it's like of the Grecian mythos, Zeus and like specifically Hercules. So it's honestly kind of fun to see Matchstick, like I work things out with his friends and talk and deal and become a kind of a hero type figure to the various characters who inhabit this town that he's currently trying to trying to oversee. And while this it's like and like there's all these different heroes popping up in this era, there's there are certain ones that strike a more memorable thing, such as like the witch Isis, or the emphatically Christian John Shredder, who as I kind of understand, are supposed to be like representations of characters that that Wagner knows from real life. So I do remember that Isis is specifically meant to be like his editor Diana Schutz, but everyone else is like, I should have done more research before doing this. But there you go. In fact, he even meets his his future wife, Magda. It's like in the course of this series. It's like she's Isis's sister, and he ends the series by proposing to her. But it's like the charm of the Hero Defined is just from seeing Matchstick try to be try to be a leader and doing his best, but kind of failing along the way, but not in a really kind of depressing way. At least not until the end, when he just tries to impart his will on everything. So, but the Hero Defined is just kind of enjoyable in the sense that majority of it is just seeing Matchstick just hanging out with friends and having him shoot the shit, smoke magic weed with his buddies. It's and just take on bad guys. So with all the abilities they've got available. So rereading all this, it's I have to say that the Hero Defined is probably the best of these volumes. I mean, it's not revolutionary in any specific way, but it's just kind of fun. Just in it's hey, it's just the chance to have hang out with a Matchstick and all his friends as far as these things go. And it's there's even some lessons to be learned along the way from how he handles himself with Kirby Heroes parallel, or rather perpendicular, quests and objectives, and what the alleged second mage Wally Utt has to say about his journeys as well. It's good fun. And this did a lot to me think, hey, rereading this stuff. I kind of enjoyed it. It's I liked I liked this. It's it was good. It was good hangout stuff. It's kind of like what when you think about that Kevin Smith praise of the series, praise of the first volume, I kind of think it's kind of the same kind of thing. In the sense that Smith writes good hangout films, and this is a good hangout comic as well, which is worth mentioning because the final volume, The Hero Denied, well, so far it's available in 2 volumes. Because when I bought these volumes, I mean, The Hero Discovered and The Hero Defined both came in 1 volume editions. But when Wagner got set to do The Hero Denied, the 3rd volume, well, he decided to reprint everything as in 6 volumes. So the Hero Discovered is now in 2 volumes. The Hero Defined is now in 2 volumes, and I have the Hero Denied in 2 volumes because I didn't want to wait however long it would take to get this final volume, like so everything would have a nice uniform look on my bookshelf. Because fuck that, it's like I've been waiting for like years, well decades actually, for for Wagner to finish this series. But he's basically but prior to them, Wagner's basically said that hey, I'm waiting for enough time to come along so that he can feel it's like ready to do this final volume, because like Mage is also Wagner's story as well, and it's like hey, and so I figured, okay, well, it's like, sure, that's great and all, but it's like you promised us the Hero Denied ever since the first volume, so like when the fuck are you gonna do it, man? Jeez. Well, he eventually got around to finishing it off. It's like over the course of the last year or so, and it's like I liked it. It's like it's got more in common with the Hero Discovered than the Hero Defined, because this is now the Hero Denied is basically like Matchstick is now old. He's balding. He's settled down with his wife Magda and their two kids. It's like, and it's like he's still in the monster hunting business, because it's like, because ultimately it's like Mage is kind of about like it's kind of a series about just like a comic book creator just like coming to grips with the process of creating comics with like his friends and all. But it's like, this final volume is basically all about it's like Matchstick like confronting the evil of the Umbra Sprite and the Grackle Thorns one last time. So, and it's like it's fairly, on one hand it's fairly it's got a fairly conventional arc, but it's like the whole like character embodies it's like mythological aspects. It's like that I mean that still works. I mean, like, now you've got like Kevin, like Matchstick, who is just now settled into his settled into middle age, and realizing that it's like on one hand I'm kind of at the height of my powers, but at the same time it's like not really going to change anything. It's like at this point I got my main focus here has got to be for watching out for my family and making sure that they're okay. And well, wouldn't you know it, that like his family is like the prime target of the Umbra Sprite. It's like and it's Drackle Thorns this time around. There's some fun stuff to be had from his from his fight against one of the embodiments of death to his reunion with with Joe Fat after the bad blood that and kind of ended the relationship at the end of the Hero Defined, and that was kind of enjoyable. It's like, but also just seeing his wife Magda teaching their son about the ways of magic, and Kevin just dealing with his daughter, and bringing her along. It's like on this quest, even though it's the idea is you don't want to bring your kids into danger, but seeing him interact with his daughter is kind of fun. And I like the I guess it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a spoiler to say there's some interesting misdirection regarding Mirth's role in this volume, but I liked how it turned out. In fact, it's like, I mean, the Hero Denied does kind of end the way you'd expect. It's with the hero coming back for one last go around. It's and him having to own up to the pressures and changes of adulthood. But it's like it was, but I still enjoyed it overall. It's like, and even if it's like the ending was, it's like was kind of a foregone conclusion. I think that Wagner made it worthwhile, like from the role that Fisher King had in it to the it's like to what his to the role that his son I played it at the last minute as well. So overall it's like it's like I think that it's like well I don't think that like the original series like quite holds the same esteem that it's like everyone would say that it's one of the greatest comics of all time. No, the original the Hero Defined is not, but it's a series that but it's a series that like tried doing something different back in the day when different was when just doing something different was being rewarded. And its sequels, I actually do think that hold up better. It's like like get like in test time and okay, well maybe like maybe I'll feel differently about the Hero Denied in about 10 years or so. We'll see how that goes. But overall, it's like it's like if you're gonna read Mage, you gotta read it all because it's like one big like interarching story. Just be advised that if you don't think that the first volume that the Hero Defined holds up well in this day and age, then I'll agree with you on that. But you gotta you at least gotta give the Hero Defined a shot. It's like because I think it's the best of the series, and if you like that, then you owe it to yourself to see how the Hero Denied turns out because that's the end of it all. And I think that that by the end, it's like it's a pretty worthy, entertaining finish. So I mean, it may not be my favorite series by Wagner, and maybe I'll get back to that. It's like in a future podcast. But it's like overall, it's like it's worth checking out, especially the second volume. So there you go. So John, I guess any thoughts on your end about all this?
Oh no, not real. Nope, not really. Sounds interesting. So, do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Yes, because it's like stuff has happened in the last week or so that basically has caused me to. I'm gonna next week is just or sorry, next week. Next time is going to be just a general reflection about it's like the good times that I had with DC Vertigo because it's dead. Like Vertigo's gone, man. And hey, it's like Wagner actually has probably has some stuff to say about that as well. But hey, it's like next week, it's like Vertigo RIP. Like we're gonna pour out a 40 for it. There you go.
Well, there you go. And we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Laters.